How's it going, guys? Welcome to another video. Hair is still getting ridiculously long. Got Buck over here chilling. Today we're planting. We got the old Great Plains no-till drill. We're going to come over here and load it up with beans. We still have quite a bit of seed left for this year. I have been planting pretty good, quite a bit the last week. I think just yesterday alone I got over 10 acres planted and another like 8 acres sprayed or something like that. Got some chicory and some clover stuff I got some plans for. This whole pile here is all beans. It's all the Wildlife Managers blend from Eagle Seed. I believe that's my first time using this particular blend. Maybe not, I don't remember. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. We still got, looks like 4 acres of this stuff, which is the Eagle Seed Annual Summer Blend. I'm really curious to see how this one works. It's real simple. It's a blend. It's 4 kinds. It's got soybeans, buckwheat, cowpeas, and sunflowers. 25% of each. Real simple. So I'm interested to see how that comes up in a couple different spots. And then here we got the waterfowl mix, which I plan on doing another video on that later. Anyway, I haven't really filmed much planting so far. I've been just kind of like getting back in the swing of things and everything like that. Nothing's been too interesting, just doing some new pots and stuff. But today is my first day really trying out, really starting, seriously starting the whole buffalo system. Planting green, all that stuff I'm sure you see in the title and the thumbnail. So I've did it in the fall. I drilled my fall food plots through the standing beans last fall. Today we're finally going to get to plant the beans through the fall food plot, which hopefully is at least waist tall. Spring kind of screwed us over this year. Around here we got a horrible hailstorm which really hurt our crops, or the cover crops. And then it's just hasn't really been hot. Like today it's like 45 right now. It's gonna get to like 60, which is not cold necessarily, but we haven't had those really warm days that really make stuff grow this year. Anyway, whatever. I'm gonna get loaded up. Probably put, I think I gotta do like 15 acres or something like that today. So I'll load most of that up in the hopper. Alright guys, so I got like 6 acres, I think, 6 bags worth of fill, and there's already a couple acres worth in here, probably an acre and a half worth. So I put in a fresh bag on both sides, and then I got this Inoculant. Use it, guys. I couldn't tell you exactly what it does, but I know it's worth it from what I'm told, and it's easy. Stuff's cheap. This says like 30 acres and it's like 20 bucks. So I use more than like recommended. It doesn't hurt anything and it's just easier. So I buy like an extra bag. We have like 40, 50 acres of beans. I have like 60 acres of not, whatever. So take it like so, like that. Of course, then you just take your hand. That's what I use. Just mix it up a little bit. That. Then I put 2 more, a bag in each side, do a little bit more, and yeah, it just coats it. It does something to do with like I don't know. Look it up, but use it, guys, I guess. Anyway, figured I'd show you that. You get dirty hands at the end of it, but whatever, who cares. So I'm gonna finish doing this, and I think the next thing you guys will probably see is actually us in the field. So we made it to the field. Well, as you can see, this is where the cows kind of got into and ate it down. But anyway, over here is what we're really focusing on. I'm gonna set the tripod up so hopefully you guys get a little better idea. But it's about, we have all this rye here. I think it's a 3 acre field or something like that. And it comes up to about my chest, not quite. This whole thing's full of it, obviously. Now, normally I would come in here and spray it and kill it, or a lot of people would come in and disc it, turn it under and stuff like that. But the new thing that like I've learned to do, and we're going to try, and hopefully it works out, is they call it the buffalo system. Grant Woods, growingdeer.tv, I believe it's called. He's the one who developed this. He's like an expert on it. That's all he does, is all he preaches. He's in the Ozark Mountains of Missouri, absolutely horrible soil. He'll go through he'll start with a field on top of a hill that's like more gravel than dirt, and in 5-6 years he's growing soybeans as tall as you and all this kind of crazy stuff with no fertilizer or anything like that. So basically the whole gist of it is I'm gonna take my drill and drive right and plant right through it. And the tire tracks will knock some of it down and whatever, but for the most part when I leave, you'll barely be able to tell I was in here. A lot of it will come right back up after I run it over. Now, in probably a week, probably 10 days to 2 weeks, whenever the soybeans get about, I think it's under 6 inches tall, so like 4 to 6 inches tall, they're super pliable still. And you can run them over and do anything you want to. They're really hard to kill when they're that small, at least the ones that we use. So, sorry, the lighting's all messed up. So when I come over here and I can, I move the grass over and you look in, you see the soybeans shooting up. We have what we call the Goliath Crimper. Or it's called the Goliath Crimper. It's from KTP Outdoors. I'm sure I'll show a little roll of it right now. That will come over and run over this stuff. And basically what it's going to do, if you took it like a stalk like this, it breaks it, breaks it, breaks it, it's got this, it's a big roller with fins on it. So, obviously it does a better job than what I just did, but it basically lays it right down. It basically does that to the whole field. It's 8 foot wide. And that kills it. And it also, like as you just saw there, it lays it down. So you'll have this nice mat. So you'll have this nice mat and your soybeans will shoot up through. Now this is some of the, we've done this in probably 7 or 8 fields this year. I haven't checked all of them, but this is probably the tallest stuff I've seen. A lot of the stuff's a little too short. I think they're really good to really do it. Like I said earlier, the spring, I got this stuff planted a little too late. I should have planted it in August. I planted in September. I'm not sure how much of that had to do with it, but mainly this spring, it was real rough on us. It's been real like mild all spring. So like the trees, I mean, it's May 10th or something now, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Mom, if you're watching this. But as you can see, the trees still are just barely budded. They budded like a week ago, not even. So, and usually this happens a month ago. So it's been real warm, and they just haven't had those real hot days to shoot up. Because this stuff is supposed to get about, 6 feet tall. But, we'll make do what we got. Anyway, I'm losing my breath here. But so once you kill it, now this will act as, it covers the ground, obviously. So the benefits of that, of course, are it protects the ground from the sun for evaporation, because it'll turn just like a straw color, a real light color. It'll reflect the heat, so it won't dry your soil out very fast. The benefits of crimping is when it knocks it down, it turns like a white dead grass color, and it reflects the heat, and it holds your soil moisture a lot better. So that's always good, obviously. And then it also suppresses weeds. I'm not sure how good this will do suppressing weeds because it's not as tall as it should be. Because basically when you get it really tall, it makes like a real thick mat, and like weed seeds are so small that if they do make it down to the soil and they try to germinate and come up, they usually can't make it through the mat because they don't have enough power in the seed itself. Like, soybeans a big seed, you can come up, 1.5 inches, 2.5 inches, no problem. So you got that, and then also over time in the summer, this is gonna break down, biodegrade, whatever, and all that stuff, and then it's gonna act as a slow release fertilizer. So basically this is a very slow release fertilizer. Now fast forward in August, when this is all pretty much gone, and the beans are hopefully big and luscious, I run right over the beans, just like I'm doing with this, and plant this stuff, this blend. Now, there was also turnips and brassicas, or a couple different, I don't exactly remember which one it is, but there's a couple different bulbs in here. The deer hammered them, and also clover in this mix. And if you look, I'm trying to find a spot. I see some. I'm trying to find a good spot for the light. So yeah, here we go. Try this. There's a little strip right here where you see I missed, and you can see weeds coming up through here. But there's virtually no weeds in the stuff that came up. So there's some spots where I missed, and there'll be weeds in that, and I'll have to spray it. But if you look right here, we got clover, and it's here and there. Some more of it right there. The whole scientific thing and what everything does. GrowingDeer.tv, Grant Woods, he's amazing. He basically went to some of the worst deer hunting property in the country, and now he's consistently shooting 140 to 150 class bucks on it. Which isn't too impressive for a place like here, but for where he is, I think he started like 10, 12 years ago. He don't even think he had a buck for the first like 2 years on the property. It's a crazy story. Before I started planting, Grant, like I was just talking about, he does this. I keep forgetting about the lines over here, but anyway, he does what he calls the earthworm test. So when you disc up your food plot, you put a lot of fertilizer on your plot, you're doing all that kind of stuff, it's not good for your soil. Your soil, like when you have to add fertilizer to make stuff grow, like fertilizer it makes the stuff grow, but it's not good for the whole like ecosystem of the soil. Just get up, you're cutting up, you know, drying out the dirt, whatever. You want ground cover. You know, when you're spraying a lot, when you're adding fertilizer, when you're disking, it's just not, I mean, your stuff might come up and grow over that couple months, but long term it's not good. So one of the big benefits of the buffalo system is that it promotes just all year round soil health. You're always having something growing, always having something covering the ground, and after a couple years, your earthworm population is supposed to just explode, and that's just, you know, then they're working under the ground, they're eating stuff, they're making stuff, doing their thing. All right, guys, tractor's over there running. Sorry if you can hear that, but I got her all done. Came out pretty good. As you can see, just tired. You can see it, like the tire tracks knocked it down pretty good. But a lot of the other stuff, like, you know, for example, I drove over, bounced right back up. So the plan is now to wait probably, if I had to guess, it'd probably be 10 days to 2 weeks. I've never done this before, so I'm not exactly sure, but however long it takes the soybeans to germinate and get, you know, I'm going to look it up too. I believe it's about 6 inches tall is when you want to come through and we'll crimp it. That might be next video, might be this video, I'm not really sure yet. Once we crimp it, it's all should look like this. You know, just a nice mat. The beans will pop right back up through when we crimp it. And it's just great protection from everything, you know, erosion and weeds, and holds in moisture and all that fun stuff. So we're gonna head out. I'm gonna keep going. I got a busy day ahead of me. All right, guys, so we just left out the last spot you saw. In between then and now, I did another like 3.5 acre field. But it wasn't anything special, so I didn't film anything of it. So now we're at this spot, which is kind of an interesting situation. This field behind me here goes all the way, like almost a mile down there. Neighbor, who's a farmer, has always planted this, harvested it, sells it, or depending on what he grows that year, does different things with it. Like, he's trading me this 1 acre of this corner, this one end piece of this field for that food plot. And it's kind of interesting because we don't fertilize anything that we plant. I don't know, you can say it's laziness or just not wanting to do it or whatever, but we don't like to fertilize. We like to just kind of do what I did earlier, is plant something, you know, keep it in the ground, drill through it, and you end up building up your soil and nutrients that way instead of disking and fertilizing, all that stuff. But in this instance, he had it before we made this deal. He had a company come in and, you know, test the soil for soybeans and come and fertilize it. So I don't know if you'll be able to see now, but the field is fertilized, and that means this field should be perfect for growing soybeans. And that's not something I normally, you know, deal with. I'm usually up on side hills or tops of hills and rocky soil and blah blah blah, trying to get stuff to grow where they probably shouldn't be growing. So this will be a good test, and I'm really curious to see, and the reason why I'm filming this, I'm really curious to see what our beans, which are Eagle Seed forage soybeans, do compared to the generic, whatever, I'm not sure what beans they're using, but crop beans, you know, difference between his crop beans and our forage beans, and they'll be right next to each other, same soil, same, it's been fertilized. I think he's probably going to plant this field here tonight. I saw him driving around another field, so he'll either probably plant tonight or tomorrow. We got rain coming. So they should be planted the same day, fertilized the same. I think he's even gonna spray my beans when he sprays his, just to make it easier, so I'm gonna bring my sprayer back here. And so yeah, it would be cool to see. So I kind of want to keep you guys updated on that. And I don't know, I think it'll be cool. I mean, I don't know what to expect, 'cause I really like these soybeans, but farmers, I've been told before, farmers, oh, you should use these soybeans or these soybeans, or our soybeans are better, and blah 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 blah. So it'll be a good test. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now. Probably put the GoPro on a time lapse, and you guys, because probably only take me like 30 minutes to do this field, so I might just time lapse the whole thing, see how it looks. But we got her done. It took a little bit longer than I expected. I had to go a lot slower. The ground's so hard. If I went any faster than like 3 miles an hour, the thing would start bouncing around and I would start to see seed go everywhere. But when I adjusted it a couple times and took it real slow, and came out pretty good for it. I mean, the ground is rock hard here. So anyway, that's that. Beautiful little field we have, actually, from way back when. There's an old platform like right there that we used to pop a ground blind up in early season when this used to be beans way 4 or 5 years ago now. And it's all trash. I don't even take that much of a look at it, but it looks like it's all rotted out and stuff. We'll probably put a new setup here. But it's a nice spot. I like it. Hopefully comes up. Like I said, with all the fertilizer and stuff on it, it should do really good, but we'll see. So that's probably going to be it for this video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe if you're still here. And I'll see you probably in a week or 10 days when all this stuff starts to grow. And, oh man, the lighting keeps going weird. But yeah, all right, guys, take care.